Okay, so as in the last video, we have counted all bones of axial skeletal system, alright, which is composed of 80 bones. So today we are going to discuss about the joints. What are joints? Let me write here the topic first so that I can tell you what are joints. What are joints? So I can say joint is a meeting point of two bones, or I can say it is the junction of two bones, which we what we call the joint. All right, and we know that we do have two types of joints, which are movable and immovable as well. So let me write here the definition first. All right, it is what? It is the meeting point of two bones. It is meeting point of two bones, or I can say the junction of two bones is what we call the joint. Alright, so now I am going to write here the types of the joint. Wait, let me make here the arrow first. Alright, okay. So here I am going to write the first one, which is fibrous joint. Alright, which is fibrous joint. Here I am going to make the structure first so that I can tell you what's the difference between it. Here basically we have bone. Wait, let me make clip it down. Okay, so this is the bone, this is another bone. Alright, so here what we'll have here dense fibrous connective tissue. Here we'll have dense fibrous connective tissue. Let me write this here. Dense fibrous connective tissue. Okay, let's talk about, is this movable or not? Alright, let me change here the color. So here we'll have no movement at all, which means wherever we'll have this fibrous joint, we'll not have any movement in that part. Alright, so no movement at all. And where it is found, like if there is no movement in the fibrous joint, then fibrous joint, where I'll be having that in my body? So I'll be having that in my skull. Alright, because I know that skull has not any movement. Like if I'll slap or hit my skull, that will not go down or that will not come up. Alright, so skull has not any movement, which means fibrous joint is present where it is present in our skull. So now we are going towards our second joint. Alright, so that is cartilaginous joint. So here I am making the structure of cartilaginous joint as well. Okay, so here we have bone. Wait, let me make label down. Okay, here I have one. Okay, so here what we'll be having a pad here. All right, a thick pad we'll be having here. Let me color this. Okay, and this is what? This is the cartilaginous. This is cartilaginous, or this is also known as white fibrous cartilage. As you can see, I have made that with white color. White fibrous cartilage. Now let's talk about if this joint has movement or not. Alright, so this joint has a slight movement. Wait, let me write that here. It has a slight movement. Alright, like the body, in my body, wherever I am having slight movement, there in that part, what joint will be present? That would be cartilaginous joint. So here where this joint is present, this joint is present in vertebral column, because we know that in the vertebral column we have slight movement. So there we have this joint, alright, which is cartilaginous joint. Now we are going towards our third one, which is synovial joint. Alright, so let me write here the topic first, not topic but the type. Synovial joint. Alright, I have mentioned here. Now I'm going to make here the diagram of the synovial joint. Alright, here I have bone, here I have another bone. Alright, so now what I'll be having here, I'll be having here ligaments. Alright, ligaments. I am telling you what are ligaments. Wait, just let me write this first. So this is what? This is ligament. Now what is ligament? Alright, it is the band of fibrous connective tissue by which bones are joined to one another at joints, and this is known as ligament. Alright, I hope this is clear to you, as we have these two bones and these ligaments, which are band of fibrous connective tissue, are joining these bones to one another. Alright, that we call the ligaments. Now here what we'll be having, we'll be having here, wait, okay, here we'll be having synovial membrane. Wait, let me write this here so that I can tell you what's its secretion. Here we have synovial membrane, and its secretion is what we call the synovial fluid. Here we have secretion of this, and this is what we call the synovial fluid. Synovial fluid. Alright, so here we have synovial fluid which I have made. Now here I'll be having one more structure. Here I'll have thin cartilage. I am telling you what's the name of this cartilage. Just wait, let me make this first. Alright. Okay. So this cartilage is what we call the hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage. So this is basically the structure of synovial joint. Alright, so now the synovial joint has two more types. Let me write this. Let me make here the division. Alright, so the first one which I'm making the structure here. Alright, the structure is like this. Here again what I'll be having here synovial membrane, which will secrete its secretion, which is synovial fluid. Then again here I'll have ligaments, and again I'll be having here hyaline cartilage. Alright, here I'll be having hyaline cartilage. So this has the less movement. Here we'll have movement, but that would be less. So let me make here another type of synovial joint. So here basically this is like a ball and socket. Alright. Here again what I'll be having synovial membrane, which will secrete its secretion, which is synovial fluid. Here I'll have ligaments. Then again here I'll be having hyaline cartilage. Alright. Just because of its shape, the name which we have given is ball and socket joint. Socket joint. Alright, and talking about its movement, here we'll have more movement than that one. Alright, so here we'll have movement, and that would be more. Alright, so this was all about the joints. In the next video we'll be counting the bones of appendicular skeletal system, how it is making 126 bones. We'll be counting those. Alright, so in today's video we have just discussed about the joints. This was all for today.